He'll be the most delighted man in Wembley to see that one harmlessly go behind for the goal kick. He's been pretty good throughout the competition as Donnarumma, but he's made some very rash decisions tonight. He's been sloppy with the ball at his feet and certainly hasn't convinced fully when the ball has been in the air either. There's a free kick now to Italy as Insigne comes down. Are we getting a winner here, Tom?
I don't think we are, to be honest. I think Italy will go with a bit more of a defensive mindset. I think another change being made, isn't it, by the Azzurri? I think they'll both try and play for a bit more of a tactical battle into extra time, personally. What about you?
Yeah, I think we could be set for extra time here. That equalising goal coming so late on, although momentum will have shifted firmly, as we say, in Spain's favour. It's a case of you get to this point in a semi-final, neither side wants to make that mistake and go on and lose it. Italy, I suppose, are the team that had gone maybe more defensive as the game had gone on, and they got their goal and they were looking to hang on to it. Spain had gone more attack-minded, so maybe it does benefit them, if anything, in these closing stages. They've currently got possession deep inside their own half. They have won this competition 2 of the last 3 editions. Spain looking to go and lift the trophy for a 4th time if they can go all the way at this edition. Morata drops it back to the edge of the box now, and the shot will come in. It's over the bar from Moreno. Competition hasn't been too good for him in front of goal, and that continues to be the case.
Yeah, I think Spain in the last few minutes have really caught the eye, haven't they? They're just peppering them at the moment. They're getting all the space. Chiellini in behind, Morata getting in that space, and for me, they're pulling those centre backs apart. That's a real worry for Italy's point of view. They are making a couple more changes. I think Belotti is one of them. They just need a bit more steel, don't they, and something to try and stem the flow of these Spanish attacks. With Belotti coming back on, that's that spine again up front, somebody to try and aim at. Which I think they've lost with Immobile. And I actually think, Bobby, they were better off with Immobile on the pitch. But Locatelli's coming on, who, of course, we know is a bit of a goal scorer at the Euros.
Yeah, he's got himself 2 already in the competition. Insigne is going to be the other one to depart with, as you say, Belotti coming on in his place, the Torino striker. Already got 12 goals to his name in the Italy blue. It looks as though Chiesa was walking down the touchline there. I'm not sure if he's just been taken off. I don't think he has. He might have just been walking past the camera. No, he keeps
coming across for energy gels and tactics.
And Marcus Llorente is the other to come on for Spain. He's just replaced Cesar Azpilicueta. And that is how we are now into the final moments, final 5 of this semi-final, the first of the 2 semi-finals to be played at Wembley over the 2 midweek days. We've got England against Denmark to come tomorrow. You'll also hear that on this service, an 8 p.m. kickoff. There's still one change to be made by Spain, by the way. All 5 have now been made by Italy. Roberto Mancini has still got one up his sleeve should he choose to use it. Laporte has possession just outside the edge of his own box, goes out towards Alba. We haven't really seen as much of an attacking force in this game as often can be the case. Italy will win a free kick just over the halfway line with a couple of players having a nibble at Jorginho. He's then reacted by pushing a player away as he wanted to get on with a quick free kick, and referee Felix Brick is going to come back and have a little word here and just try and calm the situation down. Dani Olmo has been involved alongside Jorginho. Tempers will start to fray, no doubt, at this stage of the game. It's very much high-intensity stuff as we're at the business end of the competition. Ball forwards now from the free kick. It was miscontrolled initially there by the substitute Berardi, and Busquets will clear away. Italy retrieve possession momentarily. They have to get ahead to it via Berardi to keep it in play, and then Jorginho has gone into the tackle and he's caught Pedri, and that will be a free kick. Felix Brick wagging the finger, I think, to say that there's no card to follow, but again, a word in the direction of Jorginho, who I'm sure has just had his final warning.
Yeah, important challenge to try and stop it against a bit of a flow of the game, make sure that he tries to stop an attack, but it's poorly timed. It's quite high as well. It's not a leg break or anything, but he gets nowhere near the ball, and Pedri's doing a little dance there as we approach the full-time whistle with these 2 teams unable to be separated. I still think we've got one final chance, though, something big to happen in the closing stages.
Olmo trying to turn on it. He's dispossessed, but there's Alba backing him up to take it on and charge Spain back onto the front foot. Now with Morata into the area he goes, but he overruns it, trying to knock it beyond Bonucci. Just overcooked it.
Yeah, unlucky in terms of good area of the pitch again, but just too much. Not as much finesse was it as the goal. We're seeing a replay of it now. The 1-2 with Morata and Olmo. Really good move. That one probably one of the best of the tournament for pardon me, for making two centre backs look pretty amateurish when they're two of the veterans of the world game, and just shows you what a fresh set of eyes, fresh set of ideas Morata can bring to the party.
Some tears already on the Italian faces. It's not done and dusted just yet. They're still in it. They may well have conceded and denied themselves the chance to go and claim that 1-0 victory, another clean sheet, but they are a side that are on level terms here, and with 2 minutes of normal time just under left to go, and they're on the front foot down the left flank. Crossing opportunity maybe for Pessina. That chance has since passed him by. They'll look to work it back down that flank, but it's a misplaced ball forwards from Locatelli, and out comes Spain, but it's a clearance from Marcus Llorente that will go into touch, so Italy have the throw. Chiellini was struggling to get the ball, but it's been worked further down the line where they'll look to take the throw and steal a few yards if possible. Bit of movement infield, but not a great deal to try and seek out here. Eventually the long throw does go down the line towards Belotti. Miscontrol. Spain hook it away. Bonucci comes back and heads forward nicely in towards the path of Berardi. Out wide on the right-hand side. Cut back towards Locatelli rather, and then looked as though there might well have been an offside there. So the Italians have allowed this one to run by, and Spain will have it on the edge of their own box into the final minute of the 90. And Rodri will send it to his goalkeeper, Simon. Calmly this time works it out towards Laporte. Spain have spent a lot of time in their own half in the last 5 minutes, but have not been under a great deal of pressure that deep on the field. Chiellini rather takes a risk there as he tried to play it out left-hand side. He fails to pick out a teammate in Di Lorenzo, and it's straight into touch for a Spain throw-in. The fourth official has gone and collected his board because we're 20 seconds away from the 90 minutes being up, so we'll soon discover how long we're going to have added on here. Does seem destined this game now for extra time. Italy 1, Spain 1. Independent off-tube studio commentary. Dani Olmo trying to wrestle his way in towards the edge of the box. His pass there has come off the underside of Chiellini onto the arm. Referee not interested, and rightly so. And Italy can begin to break. Coming forwards down the left-hand side is the goal scorer, Chiesa. He's found himself surrounded by three, and he eventually loses his footing. And possession is gifted back to Spain. Pedri there with the ball at his feet will simply roll it across. The board, I think, has gone up, although we're yet to get the indication of how long is to be added on at the end of this game. You'd suggest no more than 4 minutes, really. We've not had a huge amount of stoppages due to injuries, a couple of goals and the substitutions. 3 minutes it is the verdict, and that seems about right. It's Laporte in possession then. Across towards Garcia, who is allowed to stride over the halfway line, finding Olmo. Turns it inside of Di Lorenzo, and he's forced to stretch there to put it behind for the corner, and this could be the final big chance for Spain.
A big chance, I think, for Spain to have one more go at this Italian defence in the next couple of minutes. I think Italy look a bit dead on their feet in certain parts, Bobby. You looked at that attack with Chiesa. Even if he wanted to pass it, there was no one he could have passed it to. Nobody in sight was there to try and lay off a ball. So big moment for this. For me, Spain have got the momentum. It's them that had to push for this. Italy want extra time.
Corner comes in from Olmo, headed away by Jorginho at the near post. Alba comes to try and meet it. He's gone down clutching his face. Felix Brick had a very good view of that. He's decided there was nothing to award or decide upon. He's just allowed the game to go on. I imagine Alba must be back up to his feet because he was holding his face, and if it was a head injury, the game would have to be stopped.
I'd have booked him for diving.
He is back to his feet and out on the left-hand side, and yeah, as you say, seems to have recovered quickly enough, knowing the situation that his side find themselves in. He didn't want to be staying on the floor and leaving big gaping holes in the defence. There's another coming together there between Donnarumma and Olmo. There was a steely stare in the direction of Olmo from Donnarumma, but players once again continued, and we're done with 2 of the 3 minutes of additional time. We look as though extra time is now set for these two sides. It's been back-to-back extra time periods for Spain. Wonder if that is going to take its toll once we get into half an hour again for them, or whether it's an experience that will stand them in good stead. Italy switched the ball across to the right-hand side. Berardi is offside, and he wouldn't have got there anyway. And that should take us through to full-time, Tom.
Yeah, disappointing that, because actually Belotti had managed to find something out of nowhere to get the ball back with Spain under pressure. Again, if a bit more composure from the Italians, and then they got into a good area. But yeah, I mean, I guess neutrals will want as much drama as possible and as much football as possible. So, you know, extra time will certainly be able to separate these two, I'm sure, for fitness levels. Spain, the ones that look like they're fresher. But again, if it goes beyond the half hour, then flip a coin and may the best team win. And I think it's been a good game to watch at one apiece. Probably I've enjoyed it, but so far, as expected, very hard to split them.
And there goes the whistle. Felix Brick has seen enough, and despite seeing Italy take a 1-0 advantage through Federico Chiesa, Spain were able to level late on. Alvaro Morata from the bench. It's 1-1 then at full time, and this first of the two Euro 2020 semi-finals is set for extra time.
The first semi-final of Euro 2020 will go to extra time at least. 1-1 on the night. Morata coming off the bench to cancel out Chiesa's 60th minute strike. With 10 minutes to go, he fired past Donnarumma to make it one apiece. Spain had chances towards the end and made changes, as did Italy. So both teams have got some fresh ideas on the park, but it's going to be a big period of extra time, of course. Then perhaps the dreaded penalties at Wembley. It finished 1-1. Join us soon for the first half of extra time. First semi-final of Euro 2020 will go to extra time at least. 1-1 on the night. Morata coming off the bench to cancel out Chiesa's 60th minute strike. With 10 minutes to go, he fired past Donnarumma to make it one apiece. Spain had chances towards the end and made changes, as did Italy. So both teams have got some fresh ideas on the park, but it's going to be a big period of extra time, of course. Then perhaps the dreaded penalties at Wembley. It finished 1-1. Join us soon for the first half of extra time. First semi-final of Euro 2020 will go to extra time at least. 1-1 on the night. Morata coming off the bench to cancel out Chiesa's 60th minute strike. With 10 minutes to go, he fired past Donnarumma to make it one apiece. Spain had chances towards the end and made changes, as did Italy. So both teams have got some fresh ideas on the park, but it's going to be a big period of extra time, of course. Then perhaps the dreaded penalties at Wembley. It finished 1-1. Join us soon for the first half of extra time. First semi-final of Euro 2020 will go to extra time at least. 1-1 on the night. Morata coming off the bench to cancel out Chiesa's 60th minute strike. With 10 minutes to go, he fired past Donnarumma to make it one apiece. Spain had chances towards the end and made changes, as did Italy. So both teams have got some fresh ideas on the park, but it's going to be a big period of extra time, of course. Then perhaps the dreaded penalties at Wembley. It finished 1-1. Join us soon for the first half of extra time. First semi-final of Euro 2020 will go to extra time at least. 1-1 on the night. Morata coming off the bench to cancel out Chiesa's 60th minute strike. With 10 minutes to go, he fired past Donnarumma to make it one apiece. Spain had chances towards the end and made changes, as did Italy. So both teams have got some fresh ideas on the park, but it's going to be a big period of extra time, of course. Then perhaps the dreaded penalties at Wembley. It finished 1-1. Join us soon for the first half of extra time. First semi-final of Euro 2020 will go to extra time at least. 1-1 on the night. Morata coming off the bench to cancel out Chiesa's 60th minute strike. With 10 minutes to go, he fired past Donnarumma to make it one apiece. Spain had chances towards the end and made changes, as did Italy. So both teams have got some fresh ideas on the park, but it's going to be a big period of extra time, of course. Then perhaps the dreaded penalties at Wembley. It finished 1-1. Join us soon for the first half of extra time. First semi-final of Euro 2020 will go to extra time at least. 1-1 on the night. Morata coming off the bench to cancel out Chiesa's 60th minute strike. With 10 minutes to go, he fired past Donnarumma to make it one apiece. Spain had chances towards the end and made changes, as did Italy. So both teams have got some fresh ideas on the park, but it's going to be a big period of extra time, of course. Then perhaps the dreaded penalties at Wembley. It finished 1-1. Join us soon for the first half of extra time. First semi-final of Euro 2020 will go to extra time at least. 1-1 on the night. Morata coming off the bench to cancel out Chiesa's 60th minute strike. With 10 minutes to go, he fired past Donnarumma to make it 1 apiece. Spain had chances towards the end and made changes, as did Italy. So both teams have got some fresh ideas on the park, but it's going to be a big period of extra time, of course. Then perhaps the dreaded penalties at Wembley. It finished 1-1. Join us soon for the first half of extra time. First semi-final of Euro 2020 will go to extra time at least. 1-1 on the night. Morata coming off the bench to cancel out Chiesa's 60th minute strike. With 10 minutes to go, he fired past Donnarumma to make it 1 apiece. Spain had chances towards the end and made changes, as did Italy. So both teams have got some fresh ideas on the park, but it's going to be a big period of extra time, of course. Then perhaps the dreaded penalties at Wembley. It finished 1-1. Join us soon for the first half of extra time. First semi-final of Euro 2020 will go to extra time at least. 1-1 on the night. Morata coming off the bench to cancel out Chiesa's 60th minute strike. With 10 minutes to go, he fired past Donnarumma to make it 1 apiece. Spain had chances towards the end and made changes, as did Italy. So both teams have got some fresh ideas on the park, but it's going to be a big period of extra time, of course. Then perhaps the dreaded penalties at Wembley. It finished 1-1. Join us soon for the first half of extra time. First semi-final of Euro 2020 will go to extra time at least. 1-1 on the night. Game back underway in extra time. Spain 1, Italy 1. So we have at least 30 minutes to go at Wembley. Italy, the team that were hanging on in the end of regular 90 minutes. It was Spain that got the equaliser. 10 minutes to go. Morata coming off the bench to get the all-important first goal for Spain. And finally, someone in the final third with a bit of quality as Spain win a free kick. Olmo is upended. And that is a poor challenge from Toloi. Bit over the top. Did get a slight touch of the ball, but it was more the upper body that he chopped him down with. So, couldn't understand why the referee decided to give that. So, free kick towards the far side for Spain. It's a left-footed option for Jordi Alba. Dani Olmo's now come across to have a word, and in fact he thinks he should be taking this, and the referee is still making sure the Italian defence is back far enough, and Olmo has taken charge of this free kick, so it will be a right-footed ball into the box. Olmo floats it in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It's cleared away by Italy from one header. Now Di Lorenzo goes to ground. Free kick given against Rodri for a foul on the back of Di Lorenzo, who's had to move from right back to left back for Italy's point of view. And it is now with Bonucci, who goes across out to the right-hand side. There it goes with Toloi down the line. It's a heavy challenge on Berardi. Referee stops the game. In fact, both players have come off slightly worse away. The Spanish player is Jordi Alba, who's looks like he's in some serious discomfort. He's gone through the back of Berardi. I think they've both kicked. I don't know what Alba's actually managed to do while raking the studs down Berardi's lower leg. Not sure whether it's a knee problem or anything, but he's certainly feeling the effects of it. So Berardi's back on his feet. The game is back underway. Myself, Tom Hill and Bobby Jackson have brought you all the action so far tonight. It is a game I guess we have feared for extra time in terms of predictions, but I'm looking online, just that little interval there, Bobby, some of the journalists around the world, a lot of them very happy it's extra time. They just want more of this game to continue because as a spectacle in terms of watching top players at their very best, we've seen some decent games tonight. A decent game tonight. Yeah, we have. I think we predicted it would be tight and tense, and it has been that to a point. We've just had the 2 goals, haven't we? And that second one coming late on. We had to wait an hour for the first of them. I think Spain, it would have been harsh on them had they come away after 90 minutes having lost this game, because they were the better of the two sides throughout the course of the 90. Italy had a couple of chances and probably grew into the game more in the second period and got their goal from that. Spain have passed up far too many chances tonight. There's always a danger, isn't there? I think as we saw in the final 10 minutes after that Morata goal, that this extra time period could become
both sides just not wanting to lose it now. It's always great from a neutral point of view if you get a bit of drama in these late stages, like when Spain played Croatia, and you get the goals and it gives you something to celebrate and get excited about. But a semi-final, it's just so big, isn't it? You're so close to getting into the final and that little bit closer to glory and winning your medals. So I think we could be set for quite a nervy 30 minutes here.
Yeah, if I was an Italian fan, I'd be more nervous of the two, though, because they're not really doing anything to attack this Spanish backline. It is now Belotti trying to lead by example. I do wonder if they in hindsight after the game they'll look back and regret taking off Ciro Immobile, who was perhaps not having the worst game. I thought he played such an important role tonight, chasing some lost causes, chasing those long balls forward. I do wonder if they regret taking him off so early, but of course. Being defensively mindset, having a defensive mindset got them through against Belgium. So, and to question Roberto Mancini, who's led them to a 30-plus match unbeaten run, would be quite foolish. It's not perhaps the time to dissect the changes for now. As Italy back on the ball with Donnarumma, who goes long over the top. He was looking towards Belotti, who's gone down. He's claiming he was pushed in the back. He's landed awkwardly. He's trying to get his breath back on the floor. Didn't see too much of a nudge from behind, but he hasn't moved. The referee's now going to stop the game and let him get treatment. But this referee, I think, has been great for the game. There's a lot of players that have been writhing around on the floor trying to get easily free kicks. The way this referee's managed this game tonight, for me, he'd be the favourite for, if I could pick, for the final. Yeah,
he's managed it really well, hasn't he? At times, it's not been that type of game tonight where there've been loads of really strong challenges and really niggly. But when it has been that type of game, then the referee has just allowed it to run through. And I think when you set that sort of pattern early on as a referee, players wise up to it and think, well, there's no point me going down because it's not going to lead to any sort of advantage here. We're not going to con the referee, and it becomes a better game afterwards. Belotti has since got up now without receiving treatment. I think it would have been a sore one. It was a little bit naughty from Garcia. He was never getting to the ball, and there was a nudge in the back. I think it probably should have been a free kick, to be honest. But he's not going to get every free kick right, but at least for the flow of the game, he's allowed it to go.
He has. It's made it a bit more of an open spectacle. Seen a lot of love for Pedri and his performance for Spain, going about his work pretty effectively in the middle of the park. He's kept Spain ticking over some great passing. I'm sure there'll be England fans that'll be pleased that these two teams have gone to extra time, or Denmark, of course. Probably isn't a foregone conclusion of who is going to play these two teams in the final, but they get the extra day's rest for the final, but Wembley's a massive pitch. If whoever wins tomorrow's game wins in 90 minutes, they'll be pretty confident of having the fresher legs after what's been 2 years of endless football.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just the fresh legs, it's the fresh minds as well, isn't it? It's mental fatigue as much as physical. And as we said before, third time in a row now that Spain have gone the distance here. They had some tough games in the group stage, certainly the first two. There's a free kick now for Spain in a really good area. It's going to be a yellow card to come out as well. He gets a high five for making that tackle, Toloi, even though it was a foul, and gets a yellow card. His teammate's just happy that he stopped Olmo from getting into a good position. He was well beaten, couldn't even get him with the leg, so he had to wrap the arm around the waist just to make sure that Olmo was going nowhere.
I've seen worse takedowns in the UFC, probably. Very effective, Rafael Toloi.
Fantastic technique.
Yeah, body check and chops him down. I think they were stretched a little bit there. That's what I mentioned about the Italian fans. They're the ones that look the glummer of the two. As Olmo gets himself set, Spain are certainly finishing the stronger of the pair. Almost right footed free kick. It's a low and harder across the face of goal. Donnarumma saves it. Out it comes. A shot comes in. It's blocked, and it's going to be trickling towards goal. Morata's shot, I think, eventually he's punched wide. Donnarumma, he's complaining at some of the Italian defenders. Well, Spain are asking for a corner. Italy's players are adamant it isn't. I don't know how it can't be. I thought Morata's shot took a deflection. Double deflection. They're saying it hasn't touched. I think they're right, in fact. I thought it took a last touch of an Italian player. A couple of bodies hitting the deck. Big save from Donnarumma. And the goal kick was given.
Yeah, I was a bit unsure about the delivery at first. I thought it was a really poor one, but it actually turned out to be quite menacing. It went in with real pace, one of those where I think Donnarumma didn't initially know what to do, whether he can come and meet it or whether someone's going to get a touch and he's got to stay at home. He ended up staying just sort of a yard or so off his line and went down and parried. I thought maybe he could have collected it. He clearly didn't feel that the pace of it was worth trying to gamble on that, so he tried to parry out and it went into a dangerous area, crowded penalty box. Morata with that shot. Real nervy moment for Italy there, just as you said. It's Italy more so who seem to be hanging on as they were throughout most of the game.
Yeah, Italy getting the ball back. You just want someone, if you're in a Azzurri point of view, to just get hold of this game in midfield, but they just can't seem to do it. A dive there from an Italian player in midfield. They're still scrapping away. Now the free kick comes against Berardi for a foul on Pedri, and there's just nobody in Italian shirt that's had the influence. I think this is why, and we did question it, I think this is why he's put Rodri and Busquets on. It's like attack versus defence. They're just not getting past that wall of two holding midfielders, Bobby.
Yeah, there's been nothing for Italy, really, has there, to go and play off in that final third. They were really playing off scraps in regulation time before we saw Rodri come on to offer a little bit more support in that midfield as well. But yeah, they're managing the game fantastically well.
Spain down the left-hand side with Alba. Olmo gets it, runs into trouble. Foul there by an Italian midfield. The referee wants a word. There's a couple of Italian players being sent away. The referee standing in the middle of the park. No nonsense approaching. It's Pessina, perhaps.
Yeah.
It's a free kick. Don't think it's a yellow card offence, but I think the referee's made his point. He's given his decision. No card shown from our point of view. 10 minutes of extra time gone. 5 minutes before this first half comes to an end. We're getting closer and closer to the shootout. And I just said Italy have managed to do the job on their opponents so far. Spain, of course, recently won a penalty shootout against Switzerland, and that was largely down to Switzerland's poor penalties, I think. I mean, Spain's penalties were good, but you do wonder how deep they would have been able to go, considering Switzerland missed 3 of theirs. If it did go to penalties, Bobby, is there either side you would favour?
It's tough to tell, isn't it? I think you never really can know with the lottery of penalties. There should be enough quality in both sides to go on and get the victory. You look at the goalkeepers, and I suppose you say Simon has had that experience in the previous round. Maybe it comes down to that, but on the day, I think you can never really know. It's as even as any battle when you get to the penalty shootout.
Yeah, ball out towards the far left-hand side. Morata brings it down. Here is Busquets. Oh, beautiful ball from Busquets into Pedri. Referee gets out of his way. Pedri then nutmegs Berardi. Really is a joy to watch Pedri when he's playing this sort of form. It's out wide towards Moreno. It's a bit far wide from my point of view. Good ball in towards the striker Morata. Good block there from Bonucci, because Donnarumma's come off his line. Pardon me, it's not the first time tonight, Bobby, that Donnarumma's come off his line nice and early, and Spain putting them under pressure there. Good ball in from Moreno.
Yeah, it really was a testing ball into the box, see what comes from it. Donnarumma out there, and again, all sorts of problems to deal with in the box.
Yeah, ball into the box looking for Olmo. Donnarumma gets out there first. I won't say they're flustered, Bobby, at the back, but it's perhaps the most uncomfortable they've looked all tournament.
Yeah, I think that they've looked a little bit disjointed, haven't they? And it's unusual, really, for Bonucci and Chiellini to be found in situations like that where it's scrappy. Normally they'll put their bodies on the line, they'll throw themselves in front of anything, but it sort of looks calm and composed in a way, like they know exactly what they're doing in those situations. But tonight they've maybe just been left a little bit open and exposed. It goes back, I think, to the midfield we spoke about before. If there's no cover there and they're getting overloaded, there's only so much the two of them can do. That the hands are full and they're not getting the help from elsewhere.
Bonucci goes with a long ball forward. Is Spain perhaps sleeping at the back? Blotted offside, so there wasn't sleeping. I think Italy have really struggled with that tonight. They just have not been able to get in behind the Spanish defence enough to turn them around. Yes, they did for the goal. That was mainly down to Immobile's determined work. Felix Birch, the referee, is getting heaps of praise, I'm told, on social media. I do think a lot of fans would probably want him in the Premier League if they could have their way. One apiece, Italy and Spain. Spain, beautiful ball from Rodri into Olmo. Olmo's now going to set his way down the right-hand side. He was looking for Morata. The two combined earlier on in the game for the equaliser. And that, I've made the point all night. I'm not trying to say I've got the nail on the head all night, Bobby. But what I mean is, in terms of centrally, I didn't expect Spain to get anywhere near as much joy as they have. I thought all their joy would come wide.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it, that they've been able to find that space in the midfield when you think that Jorginho and Verratti have been in there, two players that normally play those roles so well for their clubs and have done really well throughout this competition in controlling teams and limiting the openings and the space they've had to play in. Then you go further back to the two we've spoken a lot about in Bonucci and Chiellini, and they've just not been able to keep up with those runs. They've not been able to read the players as well as usual, and it's just not clicked for them tonight. That they've come under real pressure, and I think you have to credit Spain and Luis Enrique for the tactics that they've employed. That they have been more intentful tonight. I think Spain, the issue I've had with them throughout the competition is there's been a lot of possession, lots of sideways passing and not the attacking intent, but tonight they've come out a little bit more trying to probe and penetrate, and they've found success with that. Only the one goal to show, but they've certainly been the better side.
They have. Pedro's getting into a good position through the middle of the defence for Spain. Busquets wide to Rodri. He's got options on the right-hand side here now. He's with Llorente. Llorente wanted a 1-2. He's got one as well. Into the box he comes. Right free cross. Cleared away by Bonucci. Only as far as Moreno. Chiellini gets across, and Italy will clear their lines. And it's an opportunity that for Spain. Italy just hanging on here, but they're not really doing anything the other way. And they're desperate, I think, by the looks of things. So a penalty shootout, not going the other way to try and hold them off and get a counter-attacking goal. I wonder if they feel that it's their only chance to get through as the referee blows for half-time in the penalty shootout. Can bring you an update of what we've seen, and we will be back shortly. Spain won, Italy won at the end of half-time and extra time. Worrying signs for Federico Chiesa. He was trying to signal to the bench a while ago that he's got a bit of a leg injury and can't continue for the time being. He needs some treatment, holding the hamstring, and he might have run his race. Very few chances. Spain have dominated in extra time. They've had all the possession, a couple of shots towards goal. Donnarumma's been able to keep them at bay with his defence, but they're looking tired, Italy, and they're also looking like they're resigned to penalties, and they want penalties. It's Spain pushing for the goal and the winner. It's one apiece after the first half of extra time. Spain won, Italy won at the end of half-time and extra time. Worrying signs for Federico Chiesa. He was trying to signal to the bench a while ago that he's got a bit of a leg injury and can't continue for the time being. He needs some treatment, holding the hamstring, and he might have run his race. Very few chances. Spain have dominated in extra time. They've had all the possession, a couple of shots towards goal. Donnarumma's been able to keep them at bay with his defence, but they're looking tired, Italy, and they're also looking like they're resigned to penalties, and they want penalties. It's Spain pushing for the goal and the winner. It's one apiece after the first half of extra time. Spain won, Italy won at the end of half-time and extra time. Worrying signs for Federico Chiesa. He was trying to signal to the bench a while ago that he's got a bit of a leg injury and can't continue for the time being. He needs some treatment, holding the hamstring, and he might have run his race. Very few chances. Spain have dominated in extra time. They've had all the possession, a couple of shots towards goal. Donnarumma's been able to keep them at bay with his defence, but they're looking tired, Italy, and they're also looking like they're resigned to penalties, and they want penalties. It's Spain pushing for the goal and the winner. It's one apiece after the first half of extra time. Spain won, Italy won at the end of half-time and extra time. Worrying signs for Federico Chiesa. He was trying to signal to the bench a while ago that he's got a bit of a leg injury and can't continue for the time being. He needs some treatment, holding the hamstring, and he might have run his race. Very few chances. Spain have dominated in extra time. They've had all the possession, a couple of shots towards goal. Donnarumma's been able to keep them at bay with his defence, but they're looking tired, Italy, and they're also looking like they're resigned to penalties, and they want penalties. It's Spain pushing for the goal and the winner. It's one apiece after the first half of extra time. Spain won, Italy won at the end of half-time and extra time. Worrying signs for Federico Chiesa. He was trying to signal to the bench a while ago that he's got a bit of a leg injury and can't continue for the time being. He needs some treatment, holding the hamstring, and he might have run his race. Very few chances. Spain have dominated in extra time. They've had all the possession, a couple of shots towards goal. Donnarumma's been able to keep them at bay with his defence, but they're looking tired, Italy, and they're also looking like they're resigned to penalties, and they want penalties. It's Spain pushing for the goal and the winner. It's one apiece after the first half of extra time.
Just seeing Chiesa and Luis Enrique having a joke on the touchline. Might be a tense situation when the whistle goes, but just as we wait to restart for this second period, there's a discussion going on between those two. There's a more intense discussion going on between Roberto Mancini and his backroom staff alongside substitute that is set to be introduced, and that's going to be Federico Bernardeschi, the Juventus forward, who will be coming on in just a moment. Doesn't look as though he's going to be introduced before Italy get us started, as the ball is rolling now for the second half of this extra time period. Spain have made a change, though. It is Sergio Busquets who's gone off. The Liverpool midfielder Thiago has come on in his place. Donnarumma, clearing away under pressure, has only been able to find touch. Big amount of credit has to go to Alvaro Morata, who was trying to close him down there. He came on as a substitute, dropped from the 11 for today's game, and he's come on man on a mission. If they do get through to the final, I would suggest that he's probably done enough to play himself into that starting 11 once again. He's got his goal today and has chased every lost cause that has been out there on the field. Lots of energy to burn. Header away now from Chiellini, up into the night sky now. 10:14 it is here in England, and this game, of course, being played in London, as the other semi-final tomorrow, and the final will be on Sunday. Locatelli now commits a foul, a minute gone in this second 15-minute period of extra time. There's Olmo, who's been a glutton for punishment throughout this game. He just has his legs taken from beneath him. Camera focusing in on Chiesa here, and I wonder if he's going to be the one to be taken off for Bernardeschi. Did score the goal to get Italy up and running in this game. A wonderful curling effort out the reach of the goalkeeper into the right-hand corner. And he is off. So Bernardeschi on in his place. I wonder if that is going to influence the remainder of this game. Some attacking intent, I suppose, but it's whether they can even get the ball down that end of the field. They really struggled to do it in the first period of extra time. Thiago is over this set piece, the man who came on to replace Busquets. His first introduction to the game is to try and whip a ball into the box. It's a horrendous delivery and straight through to Donnarumma. But I suppose both managers, Tom, we've seen substitutions made now. Thiago and Bernardeschi on, might well be thinking towards that penalty shootout and potentially players who are going to take spot kicks.
Yeah, I mean, Chiesa couldn't really walk off at half-time. I was surprised he managed to last a couple of minutes of the second half, and you just can't afford to have liabilities on the pitch. That's what he would become as an injured player, as Italy need to get the ball into Belotti as they come forward and attack.
Yeah, and it's a nice move. Bernardeschi tries to lay it off. He doesn't find a teammate in the process there when Spain can clear their lines. Anywhere will do for Unai Simon, and it ends up in touch where Bonucci will go and claim it, but there's going to be a break in play because there's a Spanish player down on the floor. That might be Pedri, who's just suffering with a little bit of cramp. He's had a lot of game time over the course of this 2020-21 campaign, as it were, domestically and then into the Euros, with a big role to play at Barcelona nowadays. Looking ahead to penalties, Spain have missed a couple of penalties in open play in the competition so far. Morata and Moreno missing against Slovakia and Poland respectively. Did miss two in the penalty shootout against Switzerland as well. Busquets and Rodri both failing to score. It was actually Eric Garcia who was down with cramp rather than Pedri. He's walking off the pitch here, and I wonder if that's going to spell the end of the game for him. Maybe he's just got a hug from Jordi Alba, so it might be that Spain are going to make their last change with Garcia going off, and yeah, they are. Pau Lopez is going to come on to replace him. So Eric Garcia has run his race as well. Lose track nowadays, don't you, Tom, with so many substitutions allowed? 5 are the number allotted to managers, and then you get the one extra in extra time.
Yeah, I'm just going to let you tell me who everybody is. Yeah, I mean, it's in a way it's vital, isn't it, for this level of tournament with the amount of football they've played. You can see how the game's affected them, as we said earlier. It's a massive pitch. It's a good job they've got that, because I don't think we'd have 11 versus 11 if they didn't get that option. Just say the stat as well, by the way. Apparently Pedri completed 55 of his 56 passes in 90 minutes, which is not bad for an 18-year-old playing in a semi-final against Italy.
Yeah, I think a leading contender for young player of the competition. Italy coming forward. Shot from Berardi is blocked by the legs of a Spanish defender before Unai Simon was called into action. That could well have been the winner. Another ball over the top now, and they will have another chance. Italy, and they've scored. Will the flag go up? I think it has. The celebrations are muted And it was an opportunity there for Berardi once again. He found himself in behind the defence. He looped his run, but Pau Lopez just took a half step soon enough that Berardi, despite a really good finish, wasn't going to be allowed the goal to stand.
No, it's a beautiful finish on his left side. I'm sure the Italian fans were going to go wild because it's what they need to feed off the scraps. They have been a bit more counter-attacking in the second half of extra time. I don't know how long that's going to last, though. 10 minutes to go. Spain
have got possession on the edge of their own box with Lopez. He will work it into midfield for Rodri. Across to Laporte, help right-hand side. But they'll retreat once more into Thiago. They are happy, Spain, just to have those two central defenders back there. No Azpilicueta on the pitch anymore as that right-sided defender that can really trust on being back there and helping out. Marcus Llorente was the man who came on for him, but he's played much more advanced. Jordi Alba has also crept pretty high up the pitch down the left-hand side, and Morata maybe could have found him there, but Morata lost possession. It does come back into Spanish control, and Rodri out to the right-hand side with Llorente. Infield to Rodri. We've got just under 9 minutes left of the 30-minute extra time period. Then we'll be set for the penalty shootout. Italy 1, Spain 1. Won't be good news for England and Denmark players. The managers, I think, will be a bit frustrated that their squad are staying up so late to watch this one tonight. Maybe wanted them to get an early night in bed to rest up for tomorrow's semi-final, but no doubt they'll be eager to see how this one plays out, with Jordi Alba now brought down just over the halfway line. He was trying to get away from Belotti, and Belotti won the ball, but I think maybe caught Alba in the process.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there was too much intent to hurt him. He just, but he's definitely mistimed the challenge, and I think it's a free kick, but no reason for him to get a card or anything like that. And a pretty fair decision. He's made an impact since coming off the bench, which is what you want from your number 9. You can certainly tell he's got some real class about him. We know what his record is in Serie A, but the issue is he's not had a chance, and that's really what you want him to have. I'm sure they'll be looking for him from the penalty spot, though.
Clearance away downfield for Italy, and it turns into a great ball for Berardi, but he couldn't turn on it. Spain will retreat to Athletic Bilbao man Unai Simon, and now Pedri with a bit of space to turn into. Crosses the halfway line, turns back and away from the attacking end of the field, and that's another successful pass for him, a more simple one into Pau Lopez. And the long ball forward for Spain, looking to seek someone out, but it's completely misjudged, and all the way through to Donnarumma. Big fans on the edge of their seats at Wembley tonight. 60,000 watching on. Another offside flag will go up against Belotti, who never got himself back on as the ball came through to him. I'm not quite sure he was expecting it to find its way through. Still should be keeping himself in a position to receive the ball. It's not going to help them out in these latter stages. If they can't mount any kind of attack, it will continue to be pressure from Spain. Here they come again, Italy, but once more turning into trouble. They just can't seem to find themselves any space whatsoever. There's complaints from the Italy bench as they felt there was a foul there, but again, just a throw-in awarded. Referee Felix Brick continues to be stern with the decisions that he's giving. Pedri lays back to Lopez. Time on the ball. Italy not interested in pressing at this stage. He's allowed to stride forward and meander his way up to the halfway line. Now Alba injects a little bit of pace coming forwards down the left-hand side. He's got a man further wide of him, and that's Olmo. Back through centrally to Rodri, who will shift it across the midfield, and to Laporte, who had stepped forward to just offer his services. Spain then see the move break down, and Italy attempt to break. Berardi is bursting through the middle, but he couldn't be found by Belotti. Spain now with some slick movement, and it's Morata getting up towards the edge of the Italy box. He's not got a shooting option, tries to cross. That should go for the throw. Well, that was close for Italy on the counter.
It was. That's just what has let them down the last few minutes, Bobby. Just not as much clinical edge in that little final third. Great run from Berardi, though, which I'm pleased from an Italian point of view. They've got some form of opportunity to try and steer him in the right direction. And Belotti's making a big impact dropping deep, but still a little bit too far deep for an attacking position for him to try and exploit. But Spain's still the team that look like they're going to score if it's going to be someone in extra time.
Deep cross. Too deep for anyone to go and attack. Donnarumma will come and claim that one with safe hands. Two in the box were Morata and Olmo. Spanish fans keeping their spirits high. Some nervous looking faces, but trying to urge their team on in this crucial final 5 minutes now of extra time. Italy 1, Spain 1. Federico Chiesa's opening goal on the hour mark cancelled out by Alvaro Morata's equaliser on 80 minutes. And we find ourselves now in these final stages with nothing to pick between them. Another offside flag goes up to bring an end to an Italy attack. Both managers on the touchline waving away and gesturing frantically to make sure that their team aren't going to be found wanting in this final period. 65% possession for Spain throughout this game. They have been dominant with the ball. When it comes to the key stat, the goals, there's nothing to pick between the teams, as we said. A ball forwards again for Spain, but Marcos Llorente can't keep it in play. It's behind for an Italy goal kick. And we're just not getting the chances now, Tom.
No, again, nerves. You can see the tension. Players will start to cramp up as a result. The pressure, the butterflies will start in the stomach, Bobby. It's it's for a place in a monumental final in a big tournament, and you just got to wonder who's got the bottom of the nerve to try and stand up. Of course, I'm sure Spain will be doing all they can to go and get a winner in the closing stages, and if they do go on and get one, Bobby, I don't think anyone can say they've not deserved it tonight. To be honest, they've been the better team. Italy, for me, have gone through the motions. They've got a great goal, shut up shop, and you've got to praise the Spanish play for Morata and Olmo. With that 1-2, they worked, and the performance of Pedri. I've really enjoyed watching it, though, in terms of two of the top teams, and whoever plays Denmark or England will give them a really tough game, as if they do get a throw around 30 yards out from the goal, it's still one apiece, though.
They've only won the European Championships once in their history, Italy, back in 1968. Spain, 3-time winners of this competition. Have won it twice in the last 3 editions. They are more experienced. Not quite the same sort of squad and level of player they had back when they were so dominant, winning World Cups and European Championships in succession. There's a youthfulness about this Spain side that could see them develop once again. Morata has just been fouled now. There's a yellow card dished out to Bonucci. It's just the second yellow of the game that's actually come out. As we said before, referee Felix Breakers, in fact it's the third card of the game. Toloi picked one up at early stages of the extra time period, but still, nonetheless, he's been very much a man manager of this game. He'd rather deal with situations with his words than going to his pocket. Spain arrow the ball out to the right-hand side. Final 2 minutes. Is there one more big chance in this? The Spanish fans at the end that their team are shooting towards start to rise to their feet, but they'll slowly sit back down as Spain go back to the halfway line. Now it's brought on forward by Pau Lopez into Pedri, and well, he's been so accurate with his passing all night, and just when it really mattered, he fails to pick out Dani Olmo. Loose with the ball, Italy clear their lines.
Yeah, I mean, the extra time has not lived up to the hype of the 90 minutes, has it? The extra time has been rather frustrating to watch for both teams. Just haven't had that quality, whether it's tiredness, I'm not sure, pardon me, but the longer it goes on, Italy have managed to worm their way out of it, because at 75 minutes onwards, it's been all Spain, and Italy have had a couple of offsides go against them that they felt could have gone either way, but yeah, Spain have certainly been on top, and I would probably say they'll be quite annoyed probably that they've not got a second goal with the possession they've had yet again.
It might still be time. Thiago fires it forward. Too much pace on that ball. And Luis Enrique turns around, his frustration etched across his face, clear to see. He eventually puffs out the cheeks and turns back to face the pitch with his arms folded. And we look set for penalties here. We're into the final 30 seconds of this extra time period. Those Italian fans seem in good spirits as we see them up in the stands, and understandably so. It should really have been Spain's game, you feel, tonight. All the stats would lead you to believe that they've been the better of the two teams, and there, the long ball forward now from Donnarumma. Into touch it goes off Thiago's head into the final 10 seconds. Luis Enrique is doing his best to try and get Italy moving again. He collects the ball and gives it to Chiellini. Launched down the line towards the corner flag. Chases on. There is Belotti, who goes down. And the referee, is he blown for a free kick or full-timer? It looks as though that is it. We are set for penalties in this semi-final. The first of the Euro 2020 finals. It is full time of extra time. Italy 1, Spain 1.
We go to penalties at Wembley in the semi-final between Italy and Spain. Nobody in extra time could really muster too much of a shooting opportunity, so we will wait for spot kicks. Italy took the lead through Federico Chiesa in the full 90 minutes. Spain equalised through Alvaro Morata, if you're just joining us. But in extra time, neither keeper had too much to do. Can either of them be the hero for their respective countries? It's Donnarumma for Italy, it's Simon for Spain, and penalties will soon be upon us. We go to penalties at Wembley in the semi-final between Italy and Spain. Nobody in extra time could really muster too much of a shooting opportunity, so we will wait for spot kicks. Italy took the lead through Federico Chiesa in the full 90 minutes. Spain equalised through Alvaro Morata, if you're just joining us. But in extra time, neither keeper had too much to do. Can either of them be the hero for their respective countries? It's Donnarumma for Italy, it's Simon for Spain, and penalties will soon be upon us. We go to penalties at Wembley in the semi-final between Italy and Spain. Nobody in extra time could really muster too much of a shooting opportunity, so we will wait for spot kicks. Italy took the lead through Federico Chiesa in the full 90 minutes. Spain equalised through Alvaro Morata, if you're just joining us. But in extra time, neither keeper had too much to do. Can either of them be the hero for their respective countries? It's Donnarumma for Italy, it's Simon for Spain, and penalties will soon be upon us. We go to penalties at Wembley in the semi-final between Italy and Spain. Nobody in extra time could really muster too much of a shooting opportunity, so we will wait for spot kicks. Italy took the lead through Federico Chiesa in the full 90 minutes. Spain equalised through Alvaro Morata, if you're just joining us. But in extra time, neither keeper had too much to do. Can either of them be the hero for their respective countries? It's Donnarumma for Italy, it's Simon for Spain, and penalties will soon be upon us. We go to penalties at Wembley in the semi-final between Italy and Spain. Nobody in extra time could really muster too much of a shooting opportunity, so we will wait for spot kicks. Italy took the lead through Federico Chiesa in the full 90 minutes. Spain equalised through Alvaro Morata, if you're just joining us. But in extra time, neither keeper had too much to do. Can either of them be the hero for their respective countries? It's Donnarumma for Italy, it's Simon for Spain, and penalties will soon be upon us. We go to penalties at Wembley in the semi-final between Italy and Spain. Nobody in extra time could really muster too much of a shooting opportunity, so we will wait for spot kicks. Italy took the lead through Federico Chiesa in the full 90 minutes. Spain equalised through Alvaro Morata, if you're just joining us. But in extra time, neither keeper had too much to do. Can either of them be the hero for their respective countries? It's Donnarumma for Italy, it's Simon for Spain, and penalties will soon be upon us. We go to penalties at Wembley in the semi-final between Italy and Spain. Nobody in extra time could really muster too much of a shooting opportunity, so we will wait for spot kicks. Italy took the lead through Federico Chiesa in the full 90 minutes. Spain equalised through Alvaro Morata, if you're just joining us. But in extra time, neither keeper had too much to do. Can either of them be the hero for their respective countries? It's Donnarumma for Italy, it's Simon for Spain, and penalties will soon be upon us. We go to penalties at Wembley in the semi-final between Italy and Spain. Nobody in extra time could really muster too much of a shooting opportunity, so we will wait for spot kicks. Italy took the lead through Federico Chiesa in the full 90 minutes. Spain equalised through Alvaro Morata, if you're just joining us. But in extra time, neither keeper had too much to do. Can either of them be the hero for their respective countries? It's Donnarumma for Italy, it's Simon for Spain, and penalties will soon be upon us.
We go to penalties at Wembley in the semi-final between Italy and Spain. Nobody in extra time could really muster too much of a shooting opportunity, so we will wait for spot kicks. Italy took the lead through Federico Chiesa in the full 90 minutes. Spain equalised through Alvaro Morata, if you just joined us. But in extra time, neither keeper had too much to do. Can either of them be the hero for their respective countries? It's Donnarumma for Italy, it's Simon for Spain, and penalties will soon be upon us. We go to penalties at Wembley in the semi-final between Italy and Spain. Nobody in extra time could really muster too much.
Break off because penalty shootout is about to start between Italy and Spain. Looks like it's Locatelli to get himself ready for the first spot kick. Italy won the coin toss, albeit it was retaken. Myself, Tom Hill, will bring you the Italy penalties. It'll be Bobby Jackson to bring you the Spanish penalties. It finished 1-1 after 90 minutes, 1-1 after extra time if you're only just joining us this evening. And of course, good luck to both teams. Let's hope it's a thrilling shootout. Unai Simon, he's dancing from side to side as Locatelli, who's got 2 goals already this tournament, prepares to step up. It is right-footed. He steps up and it's saved. Simon goes to his right-hand side. Locatelli is denied and Italy have the advantage.
Yeah, well, they managed to keep Switzerland out on 3 occasions in the previous round, and Unai Simon starts with intent this time around, making a decent save to his right-hand side. It's not the best penalty you will ever see, but the goalkeeper still having to guess right, and he did that to get Spain off to a perfect start. Can Dani Olmo now give Spain the real advantage by getting the opening goal? He did score against Switzerland. He took the second penalty that time around. Sergio Busquets went first and missed. He's not currently on the field of play. Gianluigi Donnarumma is the man looking to try and deny RB Leipzig's Dani Olmo, who steps up and puts it over the crossbar. We're 2 penalties in and both sides have missed now. Well, they couldn't score in open play and they can't score in the shootout.
Have you got any plans tonight, Bobby? I think we're going to be here for a while, mate. We'll have to get some food in, get a little cosy night. Yeah, this is a big start for Italy, a big boost. Donnarumma didn't have too much to do. And Olmo, who's been a real sensation in the game tonight, has gone for far too much power. So Italy go back to favourites in terms of the stoppage, the penalty shootout. They've got the next penalty. And it's a real poor start for both. So can Belotti now get his team in front? He's stepping up second. Whether he's changed his mind or not to, of course, try and get his team in front, settle the nerves. It's a very straight run-up from Belotti. Up he steps, right-footed, drills it into the bottom corner. It's a beautiful penalty. And he celebrates by screaming towards the fans in the far corner of Wembley.
Take a penalty low and hard into the side net. Spain looking to get their first goal in this penalty shootout then. Gerard Moreno. He has missed one in open play in the competition. The left-footed Villarreal man strides up a stutter and it just manages to evade early and beyond it. Spain back on level terms.
Yeah, the little stutter just for a second made it a bit more nervous perhaps than it should have been. So up steps Leonardo Bonucci, and not maybe the most straightforward of penalty takers, but being a centre-half, of course. But Bonucci gets ready. Roberto on the touchline. It's such a big moment. Unai Simon's already stopped Locatelli's penalty. Can he make it 2 saves on the night? Bonucci, another right-footed penalty taker, gets up right-footed and places it in the opposite corner to Unai Simon, slots it home. Italy.
From Bonucci, you can see the experience there. Strides up, picks his spot and sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. Again, not quite in the corner, but once the keeper's dived in the wrong direction, it doesn't matter as long as it's on target. Thiago is going to be next up then for Spain. A substitute as we got going for the... He came off the bench then, but this time time steps up, and that's even cooler than Bonucci. A little...
He did make that look far too easy. The confidence to take that spot kick like that. I guess the steel heart that he's got